Sister, 31. Is getting worse, but she's not the worst? Do I just do nothing 'cause it's not my life, or keep trying? My 27F, sister, 31F, is just kinda getting more and more entitled and more delusional about it being everyone's fault but hers. Am closest to her in the family. She used to be BBFS with one of our other brothers, but their relationship is not the same at all anymore. She says it's because he's mean and his new wife is an ah. He doesn't really talk about it, but has said she took a turn for the worse a few years ago. I personally have seen this turn for the worse, and have not seen him be mean to her, but rather he won't just rush to do whatever she asks him to do. I will preface by saying I love my sister very much. Things in our family can get a little unfair sometimes, and our parents are not perfect people, but they try, and OTS obvious they try. In recent years, my sister has been living off my parents as much as she can, because they do try to make her independent. She is very good at manipulating them into feeling and bad for her, and also they would never leave her stranded in situations she puts herself into. She is not the worst, but recently returned home, paid for cause she had no money and was stranded from traveling for a year, and we were hanging out out parents. She was being super mean and controlling of me, so I told her to FCK off, and she rampaged me against me for days and was genuinely psychotic. People might say this is the limit, and am not disagreeing but I don't think my sister is a bad person, and often abandoning people when teach WIRW like this just makes them spiral, and I do believe she can change. I was super excited to see her and chill. Also, my life is really busy and stressful, so I was exhausted. So this wasn't fun. I keep seeing her bullying the parents, especially my dad. She will be mean to him and goad him, and then when he gets cross, and even if he doesn't, she'll act like his healthy anger is abusive, and then she'll put on a Mother Teresa voice and explain physiology to him of what he's doing, and him just there aghast, causes literally being a gaslighting fisco. It was my brother's wedding recently. In the church, she loudly complained about not being in the wedding party. I wonder why, and gave out about the service being too Catholic. Shut up? And then complained again about not being in the wedding party over and over at dinner. Just fights me all the time, especially when I set boundaries and am real her about what I think about her behavior, while telling her I love her and that I don't think she's a bad person, but could she just please not do out-of-pocket SHD? She calls me manipulative, sneaky, gaslighting, anything when I know for a fact I'm not. Am straightforwardly trying to address things / help, which is probably stupid of me, lol. Recently, after she was horrible to me, I was crying, and she told me that was manipulative. This kind of physiological bullying is common for her, and she's been like that me since I was a little child. All my siblings bullied me mercilessly as a child, but I was too autistic and younger than them to deal it well. She knows it still hurts me. In general, she projects constantly and, sad face, feels fully entitled to my parents' money. Gives out about them going out to dinner friends or remodeling cause she doesn't want them to spend her inheritance, and just in general wants that money going to her. Will deny she has thus attitude when it is plainly clear from her words and behavior that she feels this way, and says it all the time. Obviously, people in the family will talk about her a bit. My mom loves gossip. So now she is am talking about her to the parents, but I am not. It would be easy to because she is being so crazy and my mom loves gossiping, but I don't because I know it makes all the negative behavior worse because it sucks having people talking about you behind your back, so I'm upfront her, and she accuses me of gaslighting her or being manipulative or of villainizing her like everyone else in the family is doing, and I think them doing that is counterproductive. They are just people like she is, and of course they are going to talk about this, especially when it affects them. This of course breeds a her versus everyone else dynamic where everyone is against her in her mind, and she is just a sweet, hard-working angel who does nothing wrong. This of course is delusional. My sister can work, but she has not been. My sister is a very fun, bubbly person who's CQ&B sweet, but she has been being really mean. She is in such denial and has such a massive victim complex, I just don't know what to do. She has a job ATM, and when it ends she is flying to Sri Lanka cause she's going out a guy there. Thing is she owes my parents like $3 grand. After this job, by the time she pays them back and flies to Sri Lanka, she will only have a couple of hundred left. She wants to go to Australia after, but you need $4,000 in your bank account to do that. I have a feeling she's going to smoke a bunch of weed in bed, your man, and look, I get it, that's nice to do, and run out of money and be stranded. She gives out about my brother making bad life choices all the time, cause he settled down and stayed in the town we are from. But I'm legit worried she's going to end up stranded and impoverished in Sri Lanka, and obviously my parents will help her, but I just think she'll once again act like her inability to stabilize her life is their fault, be mean to them, and FCK off again. Until they don't help her. And then what? It makes me sad she could do/be so much more. Now to the next story, story 2. EM wants to put their child in an older classroom. EM wants her just turned 3Y/0 to jump up to the 4 years old classroom right away. EM sets a meeting with director D to facilitate this. Turns out previous teacher, PT, has told her that her child is a genius. And EM, of course, believes. D has 4 years old teacher, 4T, do assessments on child, as well as child's classmates, to determine if this is true. It is, of course, not. Child is, in fact, average. D has second meeting with EM and 4T to break the bad news. EM cries an hour-and-a-half long meeting that average child, AC, is going to lose a year of their life if they don't skip a grade, like she did. She praises 4T as the best teacher in the school and says she only wants the best for AC, and that she wants to give AC a head start. D and 4T mention that most parents hold their children back a year to give them a head start in kindergarten. EM says several times that AC only just misses the cutoff age to start kindergarten. Enough that D and 4T have now memorized the exact hour of birth of AC. EM reiterates that she doesn't want AC to lose a whole year of their life. D and 4T are a bit miffed that EM does not consider the years lived in school to be either valuable or even years. EM insinuates that PT did not prepare AC well, despite PT's high praise of AC. EM coincidentally implies that she feels like last year, when AC was in the 2 years old room, was wasted, and does not want to have AC waste another year, i.e. go into another 3 years old room with the other 3 Y/Os, but wants AC to go into a 4 years old room with their peers. Never mind that 4T has told her that AC is average and is in the correct room with their actual peers. D finally concedes to transfer AC to a younger 4 years old room that 4T does not teach in, possibly in an effort to end the meeting. EM is not entirely happy, but asks that AC be reassessed by 4T after a month in the younger 4 years old room. D and 4T agree. EM asks 4T for things the nanny can do with AC at home to help prepare them. 4T wonders why EM can't this herself, as she is a SOM, but agrees to give EM some activities to do with AC. 4T leaves their class to another teacher to craft and send a 3-page email an hour after the meeting, full of activities for a variety of developmental goals and domains, with differentiated levels and tips on when to move up to the next level. EM sends an email back minutes later, asking about possible products they can buy to give to AC that may help them. 4T is in class, but sends an email back at the end of the day, letting EM know that activities done with a parent are actually more effective, and links various articles and studies. 4T BCCs D, who is in full agreement and backs 4T. AC moves to younger 4 years old classroom. AC is still a very young 3, and is in no way with their peers. Other 4 years old teacher, O4T, is not happy, as they trust D and 4T's assessment, but agrees to watch how AC does in their class. EM asks O4T 2 days after the move how AC is doing. O4T is confused that EM is expecting results so quickly. O4T says it takes time to learn. EM then sets up meeting through D for O4T to talk about AC's progress. Having heard about the hour-and-a-half meeting earlier, O4T schedules the meeting for recess time in the classroom, so that there will be a natural conclusion to the meeting when the class comes back from recess, and sets the meeting for 2 weeks out. EM sends several emails daily to O4T during this interval, asking for updates. To which O4T replies as graciously as possible that AC is still learning. In the meeting, EM asks again about AC's progress and mentions that she has been working with AC and hasn't seen any progress yet. O4T reiterates that it's only been 2 weeks and it takes longer for children to commit things to long-term memory. EM asks again for 4T to reassess AC. O4T is miffed at the implication that they cannot correct assess AC and says that both teachers will assess AC at the end of the month, at which point the class comes back from recess. EM has to leave unsatisfied, while stories of their entitlement circulate through the school.